I'm in the car. We're gonna do a little car live. So say something if you're up in here, man. Cause I can't. I always have trouble when I go live on this way, but maybe I could do. I want to talk about a couple things, man, because I've been busy. What's up, Grammy? What's happening? We had massive views yesterday. I think it was like 27,000 last time I looked at it. You know, going out there supporting our president and stuff like that, asking these people simple questions. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I wonder if I can play the intro song from the car speakers. Let's have a gander, shall we? Let's have a little bit of a listen. Bam. Yo, it's White Boy Lock Radio. Got the mic in my grip. Dropping truth bombs while they stab. That's the coolest AI song anybody ever made for me. Hunting down the tragedy pimps, letting them know laughs and facts. Just want to see if I can do it. All right. Anyway, yeah, man. I had a ball out there yesterday, y'all. Just going out there for Donald Trump. You know, these people did all the stuff on his birthday and stuff. And the point of me going out there, I just want to do like a recap. It was like I listened to it back. I made a clip out of my own live, and so the point of me going out there was just to kind of, you know, I wanted to find these paid protesters, right? If you look at O'Keefe Media, which is James O'Keefe, which is the old Project Veritas brand, they went undercover and they found that these people, you know, are getting like $8 to $12 per signature on these petitions and whatnot. And, you know, these people are getting paid to protest. That's why I went out there. I was looking for them, but, you know, as I watched like the footage back yesterday, there was a couple things I wanted to say, because there's a time where I'm like walking on the right side of this plaza, and people are like yelling at me, right? And the audio is either not that good, or I don't know, it doesn't present it that well. So I'll turn around and address the person, right? Like the person that looks like Hong. That dude was like yelling at me, right? So as I'm watching the playback, as I'm watching the live back, I could hear my voice because I have my phone like close to my mouth. But, you know, I'm very aware of going into these things and, you know, what's happening. And I'm a person who is, for my entire life, I have a problem looking behind me. Like, if you guys ever asked Noel, like, I'm always looking behind us, like when we're in stores and stuff. And that just comes from being incarcerated. But these people were like yelling at me. So I would turn around and put the camera on them if they yelled at me, and I would ask them a question, right? Because they're getting super triggered about my hat and my outfit, right? But I don't think it presented off that well. Like, you don't hear all the people who are like yelling at me. There's a lady who grabbed my wrist, weirdo. But the point of this, me telling you this, is then people were out there peacefully protesting and shit. But for what, like, it was peaceful, right? It was peaceful. But for what really was the cause? If you watch my live, it's about an hour and a half. And I think I hear ICE twice. That was a Trump derangement gathering session. That's all that was. That wasn't about ICE. That wasn't about ICE. And what's crazy is I literally signed up for No Kings protest. I signed up for their official website and all that because I wanted to see if I can get, you know, someone was going to offer to pay me to go out there. That was my whole thing, to do this from the beginning. But as I'm like experiencing all this and stuff and all that, it's crazy because now today I'm looking at all these videos on YouTube and these people getting killed. You know, either it was lawmakers and a lot of stuff, man. People getting killed in crowds in different cities. I'm watching like people like assault police horses. It's crazy as hell. And I remember in that initial like No Kings Zoom meeting that I attended, and I actually got booted out because of the weather, that I tried to re-enter it, and it was at maximum capacity, right? Which is odd for a Zoom call. But there was a senator, a Democratic senator, who was behind all this and planned all this. So as I'm someone who has been on top of this since the creation, who tried to infiltrate it, who tried to get paid, who went out there, vlogged it, who pushed back against these people and asked them simple questions, as someone who's fully involved in this thing, now that I look at the aftermath and the destruction, and you have to, it's weird to me because it was a sitting senator who literally is behind, who has blood on their hands, in my view, right? I mean, how could you really expect nothing to go wrong on a planned protest, days before there was already massive looting and massive destruction on other said protests, right? Of course they were going to burn shit and all that. So I just wanted to say that, man. I had a lot of fun though. Learned a lot. Those people, it's almost like it's sad. It's almost like you speak two different languages, right? You have people out there yelling at me about Nazis. And then I'm like, oh, Nazis, that's cool. Because last time I seen a Nazi was, maybe World War II. I don't know, read a history book. And they're like, no, they're in Seattle. I'm like, Seattle? Are you fucking kidding me? So I'm trying to educate these people. And then at the then there's a guy telling me that Donald Trump is very racist because of my hat. And I'm like, okay, not a problem. Just one example, please. I asked the dude for one example of the racism. He could not answer the question. These people have, these talking points, and they have these preset, these preset things. And I read something today online, and it really struck with me. And I don't fully agree with it because I know my audience, but I do agree with it. It has to be, right? Somebody said on a post that baby boomers, which is like some of my mom's age and stuff, and I have subscribers who are baby boomers. A lot of the baby boomers, a lot of the hippies of that era, they are really focused and brainwashed on media content. I agree with that to some extent, but not fully, because I know a lot of baby boomers have alternate media. That's why they may have found my channel on YouTube or something like that. So I don't fully agree with that, but it does make sense to a little bit of sense, I guess. But why I bring that up is that's a lot of the crowd that I saw that was out there, and they just were there's nothing you could tell them about Trump, and it reminded me years ago. I used to drive a garbage truck. I drove for Waste Management. I drove for Waste Pro. I used to have a CDL and drive. I used to be a garbage man for many years. And I remember when Trump was running. I remember when Trump won his first term, and then it was before the 2020 election. I remember I had my route and stuff, and I would ask people who I knew on my route about who they're voting for. I wouldn't ask just any random person that, because it's uncomfortable if you don't know their politics and stuff. So I would ask the people on my route that would tip me and stuff. And I remember, I'll never forget it for my whole life. And this is why I hate the media. I pulled up to this guy. He probably lives maybe 3 minutes from me. That's where my route was. I used to get my own garbage can. Technically, I could have, got rid of a dead body. Never did, but just saying, how weird is that, right? But I remember pulling up to this guy and asking him who he's going to vote for. And he told me he's going to vote for Biden because he's in the military. And he does not like what Trump said about the military. And this was years ago, the lie that's now been since debunked about Trump selling out the military for some awkward random reason, which he wouldn't do. But this old man bought it. And it was at that very second that I'm like, there's nothing I can tell this guy to change his mind, because he's watched CNN, he's took the information in. I can't even like send him a YouTube link because he was set, right? And it was sad. It was sad. Now I respected what he said. I small talked him, whatever. I drove off, and I never will ever forget that for my whole life, of how the media did that to that guy. Just something to think about, man. Let me see the comments real fast. What up, Skunk? Yeah, it's crazy, man. I'm always going to have Trump's back. Look, I like President Trump. I always have, It was his birthday. I think this shit was all like... I think if you want my honest opinion about my whole stuff out there, if you watch the whole live and everything, I think these people... There's a lot of people who hate Donald Trump. They the word Trump derangement syndrome, it is real, right? I think that these people are easy to gather, right? And it's not a coincidence that they did it on his birthday, right? They're big mad. I mean, people are... This guy he's broken their brains. Like, he's broken their brains. Like, how could you not get behind that? As somebody who's an American citizen, this is just not a regular politician. He breaks their brains. Like, did you see that senator the other day get tackled, try to interrupt the that news conference? Like, what was this dude? He breaks their brains, and you have to like, and even for somebody out there, I hate to divide my audience, but I'm just telling you where I stand, man. And I'm not somebody who hates Joe Biden. I don't have no evil thoughts for him. I don't have like, I don't have Biden derangement. Listen, matter of fact, yesterday I'm yelling at these people as they're yelling at me. Hey man, I hope Joe Biden has a speedy and fast recovery with his cancer. They didn't know what to say about that, because all they had, I'm like, what about, I would say, what about Laken Riley's family? And they're like, that's just one girl. What about all the people Trump killed? First off, what the fuck are you talking about? Second off, that's one too many. Like, what are you speaking about? Like it's derangement, man. And it literally is derangement. But he breaks their brains. And so I wanted this to recap. If you watch that live, it's like almost got 30,000 views. About time White Boy gets some views around this motherfucker. Yeah, I learned a lot. These people, they don't like when, they're yelling at me just by walking through, and I stop and say, hey, look, I have cut my penis off, and I identify as an 8-year-old girl who does not like getting yelled at by adults. They don't know what the fuck to say to that, but they expect us to be like, oh, you're an 8-year-old girl, man. Like, okay, same page now. It's a little bit weird, right? They don't know what to say, right? It amazes me. You could watch me say it. You could watch Matt Walsh say it. You could watch any patriot conservative ask somebody like this, what is a woman? You cannot get an answer. It is fucking insanity. That's not normal. I walked away and I'm talking to the phone, and I would say Trump derangement syndrome to you guys reading the comments. I would look up and people were mad, and you could see it on the live. I'm like, what are you? I'm like, did you just get mad and look because I said derangement? That's not normal. Like, people, there's something like, there. It's crazy. But for the most matter, these people are protesting peacefully. And I wanted to say that because some of the stuff that, if you watch it live, you can't hear. I posted jokingly one of the protesters that looks like Hong on my community wall. That guy was yelling at me like crazy. And I was just walking by him. And what you hear at that moment is somebody else yelling at me in front of him. So I turn around. There were people who, were, I don't know if they were Mexican or, whatever nationality they are. I didn't even bother asking those people anything, because people are peacefully protesting, but the people who are yelling at me and they can't control themselves, I absolutely push back. Absolutely. There's one lady grabbed my arm, one weirdo. You can't see this either. He's like, sees me walking, he like speeds up and he gets right next to me. He's like walking a half an inch from my arm. And then you hear me, I'm like, hey dude, is your Trump derangement under control today? Because you're walking a little bit close to me. And it was just weird. And these people, what I noticed is that they get very frustrated. They all yell. There's no logical answers for the most simple questions. I mean, you're telling me that Donald Trump is racist. I just want to know one example of how. Can't do it. What's a woman? Can't do it. What do you feel about Lake and Riley's? You're out here protesting ICE, which you're not really doing. I heard ICE twice. In an hour and a half, I heard ICE twice. Watch the live for yourself if you disagree, because those people were not protesting ICE. That was a Trump derangement gathering. It's exactly what it was. Nobody, two people said something about ICE. Crazy, man. So, it's just interesting, man. Get some comments on that real fast. I appreciate the Happy Father's Day. Thank you very much. It is past crazy BW. These people, beloved, it was a birthday parade rather than a celebration of the United States Army. It shows how much propaganda. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. She just wanted to feel your muscle. That shit weirded me out. And if you watch it live, she goes, oh, a Trumper? A Trumper? Like, it surprised her that I was there so much. And then her next thing to do was grab my wrist and rub it. Like, do you want this patriot dick or what? Like, what are you touching me for, lady? You want this patriot dick? You want a real boner and them limp dicks you've been fucking, lady? Is that what you want? Do I turn you on, lady? Am I that sexy? That's what it was. But it's crazy, dude. It's just a learning experience. Unfortunately, if I gotta be real, it's sad. It's sad. Because, there's instances, if you guys watch it, there's real, there's some real dialect there. If you're gonna yell at me that there's Nazis, I'm gonna just, wait for you to calm down, or I'm gonna go, woo! Nazis! Woo! Nazis! Woo! Nazis! Woo! I'm gonna woo you until you shut the fuck up and tell me where the Nazis are. And then when you can't tell me where said Nazis are, or you tell me Nazis are in Seattle, I have to educate you. I have to educate you, because no, sir, you're incorrect. And their own people straighten that dude. But then you had another guy to right there by him. Ow, Trump is racist. I just need one example. You can't do it. Like, you're just yelling shit at me because you don't like my hat. That's not normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. That's kind of scary. It's scary, like, that this is my community, which, let's be honest, is overwhelmingly more Trump supporters, just like the country is, because that's why he won. But these are like my fellow community members, and we cannot have a conversation about facts. I mean, I was willing to, but you had nothing for anything. And it just makes people, and what's crazy is, I remember telling the lady I identify as an 8-year-old girl who has cut my penis off and put it in my butthole. And she goes, oh, that's Trump supporters. No, lady, no. That's me giving you a dose of your own ideology and the own ridiculous things that you say and want on all children. You want that shit in the classrooms. You want all that shit everywhere. That shit is weird. No, it's not all Trump supporters. This is the first time a Trump supporter has told how ridiculous you sound to yourself. And it's just crazy, man. That's why these people have nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? What I was trying to do for this live was I got interviewed by some reporter, and the motherfucker wanted my name. So I learned this back in the Gabby Petito days. During the Gabby Petito protests, when the media was literally living there, I did a lot of interviews with the media. And what I learned, I even made a video about this. It's literally on my channel. Whenever you talk to the media, you gotta be live, right? When the media wants you to ask questions, either you be live or you answer their questions with them live, right? Because I searched every possible corner of the internet for this dude's article that he did on me. And at the end, I'm like, I'll give you my YouTube name. It's White Boy Radio. Then I kind of like felt like a dick, but he's not green, you know, and you can hear me. I'm like, dude, it's politics. I don't want to get doxxed and shit. I'm like, use Matt. Here's what I find funny. So in searching of the internet, there was another Trump supporter over there who he didn't want to give his name, but he was driving around in a blue truck and doing this and that. But if you read the article, it just paints the, so what I think happened to it is this dude brought it to his boss or whatever. He's like, nah, don't use that. Because I gave that dude some really good answers. And I want to give a shout out, man. I got probably one of the best comments and one of the most motivational comments that I ever had doing YouTube on, it's on either one of the videos when I went out there or one of the posts that I made. And somebody was like, you need to get involved with the youth. You were articulate. You were very smart. You handled this correctly. It was just very motivational, man. And I really appreciate whoever wrote that comment. I really do. But it doesn't take anybody to have, to be a genius to go out there and push back against these people. I just don't like that this was planned on my president's birthday. And, I see what's happening around the country. These people burning shit, looting shit. We've seen this movie before after George Floyd, and if you know anything about the George Floyd case, they're almost, they might let that guy out, man. They might let that officer out. There's a movement too. The FBI lied about the autopsy in court, right? It was absolutely an overdose, right? It's just, every conspiracy theory that we have becomes true. We all knew about J6. We all knew about the feds that were there, right? But these people, it's crazy that the conspiracies that they're not. I hate to even say it like that. It's not even a conspiracy. It's only a conspiracy because the media is not giving it proper attention. It's not a conspiracy. It has to be labeled a conspiracy because of the lack of media coverage involved in each situation. I mean, how many conspiracies have to come true? It's just crazy, man. But we knew about Biden's health. We knew about all this. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. They try to lump Trump in with the Epstein shit. No, debunked. Trump literally told that dude he cannot come around to Mar-a-Lago no more after he got cased up in Florida. Now, if y'all don't know that watching this, there's receipts on that. There's literally receipts on that because Mar-a-Lago is in Florida and Epstein got sentenced out of Florida, but Trump deaded him from coming around his place after he was convicted, right? That's just what it is. That's why you don't see a big push. Even Elon saying that because he's big mad about, whatever happened. You don't see the media, jumping all over it because there's receipts about it. But, anyway, I wanted to talk about a couple other things, man. Let me just hit the comments. Dude, Mickey, you listen. You call him the Orange Man. So you may call him Orange Man bad. I call him Orange Man rad. Right? I don't care that you think that he's orange. Like your opinion. I interviewed a lot of people with your ideology yesterday, and none of you could answer. There was like 7,000 of you and one of me, and I made you all look very, very stupid. So don't come in here telling me anything else, because I have video proof of it. Video proof of it. Now, if you'd like, right, Mickey, since you have such an epic and big mouth and big opinion, here's what I'll do. I'll drop a StreamYards link. I can't do it right now, but I would love for you to A, show your face, B, debate any political topic with me, and C, stay around for the whole live, because I bet I make you tap out. That I bet. With common sense. There's a reason God made it rain on that protest. Because he doesn't want little boys and girls chopping their penis and vaginas off. That's what you like. You're a weirdo. In my eyes, you will forever be a weirdo. You're fucking weird. You're fucking weird. You can never justify that. That's never okay. It's disgusting on every level and every single time. I don't want those books around the kids. I don't want kids to be able to do that to themselves. I don't want kids to be able to change their bodies with irreversible medical options without their parents' consent. Mickey, you probably live in LA where there's shit on the sidewalk and you have to clean up the mess. See, I just went out there. I'm proud of the politicians in my state. That shit will never happen. They get to go viral and clown the people that's in charge in your states. America just voted. Overwhelmingly, we are tired of people like Mickey. We are tired of the woke shit. I'm not the only person tired of all the weird trans shit and the kids. You know, you want to be a trans person over 18? Hey, do it, man. America overwhelmingly rejects all this shit. There's a reason why he's in office. Get over it. We didn't cry like this when Biden was in office. Get over it. You're in my comments crying. I don't care how orange you think Trump is. He can be neon orange in your eyes. He's always going to be orange man rad in my eyes. Common sense things. You should appreciate the check that he gave you last time he was in office. You're going to get another one this time. How come none of your people, how come the orange man that's bad is untaxing my overtime? Are you a loser who sits on the internet every day crying that Trump is orange? Or do you go to work? I go to work. He's untaxing my overtime. Orange man bad is not the answer for Lake and Riley dying. Orange man bad is not the answer for everything. I don't care about how orange you think Trump is or how much you hate him. You sound like a dummy. Did you chop your kid's cock off? I wish I could drop you a link right now. You would never do this live with me. You never would. I will make you look silly and stupid. The fuck out of my chat. Unreal. Who supports that shit? It's weird. Anyway, man, so I want to talk about more other shit than that. And then the guy, back to the reporter before this Mickey moron came in here. The reporter, you know, these people always want to either get your name, or he kept trying to like lump me into a group. I'm like, man, I'm not into a group. I'm not a Proud Boy like that. I'm just by myself, man. But anyway, I searched the internet for it. You can't find it. So it just makes me think, like, why did you want my government name? You know what I'm saying? It's just weird, right? Will it be another conspiracy that comes true? We don't know. All right. Anyway, next subject, right? I got two things to talk about. Already been on here 30 minutes. So y'all know I got this little thing going on with court. I wanted to tell y'all, SF, man, has really been helping me, man. SF is a real one, man. SF is a real one. SF, if y'all don't know this, he's taking some legal, I don't want to misspeak for him, right? He's taking legal courses and stuff like that. He doesn't have his law degree or not like that. He hasn't passed the bar or nothing like that. But he's passed a lot. He's done a lot. And I contacted him about the situation that I have. And he was like, man, he basically was like, dude, you are tripping. SF helps a lot of families get these types of orders and stuff. And he's in court for these types of things a lot. And he's like, bro, you're tripping. He's like, and I don't want to say too much, but I cannot wait to go and handle this because, oh man, this is going to be a demolishment, like a straight demolishment. And I really respect this dude, man. And I just wanted to say I appreciate it. And, you know, there's certain things that, you know, SF can do certain things. And, it's comical because I've heard how much of a fake PI this guy is and stuff like that. Yeah, we're about to see about that. And I just really appreciate this man. And I just wanted to tell y'all that. I really want to tell y'all way more, but I'm just not gonna speak on that certain thing because I'm almost going to court and I cannot wait for that day. I cannot wait for it. I am like, at this point, after speaking with SF, I am 1000% looking forward to it. And I wish it was tomorrow actually, but we'll have to just, you know, trust me, you'll get an update. But and lastly, man, you know, there is like a lot of misinformation about like the wells and the CPS stuff. That's been going around. I've been really busy. I've been working a lot of hours. Obviously, you're seeing me live, not on StreamYards doing it like this. Whenever you see me doing a live like this, White Boy has a lot going on in his life. But, you know, here's what I want to tell people, man. There's a lot of misinformation. I think it's Wells derangement syndrome as well. And again, I don't care, you know, how you feel about the case. I don't care, you know, what your conspiracy may be, but at the end of the day, this is very simple, and this is something I have not said, right? And I really did not want to say it at this point of time, but I'm gonna go ahead and let the cat out of the bag right now. There's a lot of people on social media that are very, very big butthurt that the Wells got a that CPS cleared them. Well, I have news for all those people who are putting out all this misinfo and all this other stuff. They're mad, right? Like, how could you get mad about what a judge declared against them? That here's what these people don't understand. So the Wells got lucky, right? Right now, the state of Tennessee Child and Protection Services is in a massive class action lawsuit, right? With over, I think it's 5,000 to 7,000 families. So I believe it's 5 firms out of New York are going against the Tennessee Department of Children and Families. Now, somebody that you know, another family with a missing child who we're tight with, me and Noel helped this thing happen, between that family and the Wells to get on this thing, right? Now, I got receipts on this from months ago. I've been sitting on this. At some point, I will have this person on the channel because there's fuck receipts. All this, you can just hear it from the horse's mouth, right? But, you know, it's comical, man, that people just go unhinged. People just cannot. It's like earlier, I'm like, you know, Trump breaks their brains. Like the Wells, like break these people's brains because they have to go down like the Chris McDonough, you know, way. Chris McDonough is a complete piece of shit who tried to manipulate, right, two siblings, right, manipulate children into admitting into murders that they did not commit by using technology. And he got sued behind it. And he told his audience that's not true. He didn't get sued. It's all like and then the YouTubers who have like Trump derangement, they all will tell you that it's, you know, Chris McDonough. So we're supposed to believe that like Chris McDonough, right, doing this to innocent minor children, right, while he's on the police force. They made a movie behind it. We're supposed to believe that he just created a YouTube channel and he's completely honest at this point, right? I'm not here to tell you what to believe, right? I don't care if you vote for Biden. I don't care if you vote for Trump. If you follow this channel and you voted for Biden, that's cool, but you'll have to hear stuff like in the opening. That's just what it is. If you believe the Chris McDonough thing, that's cool, but you're going to have to hear truth like what I just said, and that might hurt your feelings. I'm just here, man, to give y'all the facts and the truth. That's it, right? So what I'm telling you is them people got lucky. They're in a class action. And I know there's going to be Trump derangement creators who don't support me, or people in the bushes right now trying to, you know, send this live to them. Good luck finding anything in regards to CPS anywhere, anyhow, just in existence. Good luck. They're going to try. It's not going to happen. However, when I have time and not when I'm sitting in a car, I'll have verbal receipts come on and back up everything that I'm saying. And I will show you the receipts that this person gave me and the correspondence and everything that's going to go along with all this. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know if this thing gets done tomorrow or 10 years from now. I have not a clue. It's a big, massive thing, people. At the end of the day, I don't understand how this is relevant into Summerwells. Look, here's the deal. Because the judge dropped it, that means if Summer's found tomorrow, she can go back home there. That's just what it is, man. Now, in regards to the boys, look, here's the deal. People are asking questions about Josie. Well, here's what you probably don't know. The boys were when the boys were taken, they all went to a family. Something happened, and Josie got separated. Okay? It's nothing like brand new for the state to put a video like that up, right? But there was a reason why they're separated. Now, Josie is the oldest boy. It doesn't matter if this lawsuit is victorious for them. It doesn't matter if the lawsuit falls on its face. At the end of the day, Josie is 16 years old. How did I know that he was separated? I remember having a specific conversation with the Wells a long time ago. And if people think that when that boy, if he's adopted or not, if people think that they're not going to be reunited with his parents within a couple of years, you're I don't know what you were smoking. I just don't know what you're smoking. And people will say, well, I believe the Chris McDonough thing. Yeah, the guy who there's a movie about, who they tried to coerce a little boy, Michael, into admitting to a murder that he did not do. I believe that guy. People, I've been in Summer's bedroom. I've been up and down those stairs. I've been in the boy. There's a video of me on the roof taking a picture, and a slow vehicle comes, and if you watch it, you can see a kidnapping happen. I'm not saying that's what happened, but what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, there's really, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit if the kid who's about to turn 18 goes back home? So if your Wells derangement is so bad, then really what you're saying is this. I believe Chris McDonough so much that I'm going to dismiss the data and the stats that what happens to children in CPS custody and what happens to children in foster care. Do y'all know the rate they get sexually abused? Do y'all know the rate they get, man, it's dirty. So I'm here saying, let that boy go home to his parents, because it don't matter if the internet agrees with it or not. That's what's going to happen. But for anyone to push back against that, you're basically going against the data. You sound ignorant. You sound no better than the people I spoke to yesterday who yell and yell and yell and yell and yell and yell at somebody. But when you ask them a simple question, there's no legitimate answer. Smash a like for a real one. I'm out.